This is Eric with Astrology for Awakening, and we are going to be exploring Venus, Mercury, and the Sun in sequence, trining Neptune. Now let's take a step back and talk about Astrology for Awakening. This approach to astrology uses the sacred symbols, the sacred language of astrology, as a way of discerning and becoming sensitive to the movements of the spirit, the impulses of the deep soul, and the endless offerings that the spirit makes, the endless invitations that the spirit makes for us to remove what Patanjali called in the Yoga Sutras, to remove the source of pain and suffering in order to attain, here's a technical word, samadhi, in order to attain awakening. Now, in simple English, what the sage is saying is that the path of awakening is the path of letting go of our commitments to incompleteness. Hard to believe, but most of us have an unconscious, subconscious, semi-conscious commitment to incompleteness. It's about letting go of our addiction to self-protection, which defends us, preserves us in a certain way, but it defends us from receiving the blessings that we came into this life really to feel, to know, and to share with others. So this sequence of aspects really is a beautiful Dharma door, 3 Dharma doors really, that open us deeply. As we let go, or potentially, as we let go, then the heart, which is Venus, and then the mind, which is Mercury, when we let go of these defensive strategies, we move into the outer fringes of samadhi. That's a term from our spiritual grandfather, Sri Shelley Trimmer. The outer fringes of samadhi. This is a place of beautiful healing. Now, samadhi in yoga is a technical term that deals and refers to a deep, deep state of meditative absorption, a state of meditative realization. And Shelley used to speak of samadhi as universal unselfish love. And as we move to the outer fringes of samadhi, we begin to bathe in the radiance and the resonance of that unselfish love. And that's really the invitation of these aspects. And because as we commune with that love, the veils of our conditioning are, in this case with the trine, gently removed, and we progressively discover, or maybe more accurately, we rediscover the love that has always been there and is here now, hidden only by our confusion, by our conditioning, by our fearful responses, but always beckoning, always calling, always present. And this period of Venus, Mercury, and the Sun, they're in Scorpio, trining sequentially the planet Venus, the planet Neptune, offers us this beautiful 3-part dance of opening up and coming closer and closer to the outer fringes of samadhi, where we can bathe in that regenerative and healing love. And it's all emanating from this relationship to Neptune. Neptune is this dissolving force of transpersonal compassion, of universal love. Neptune is the symbol of sublime inspiration that dissolves the isolated self-sense into the ocean of being. It doesn't dissolve you. It dissolves the isolated sense of an isolated self into the ocean of being. Neptune represents our capacity to attune to the immeasurables and to dissolve polarities like us and them. You know about that one? It's popular these days. Me and you, good and evil, all of these into an underlying unity of existence. So Neptune can be transcendent and redemptive, and it allows us to, it infuses whatever it touches with a kind of sacred imagination, not imaginary, ideally with Neptune, but imagination that makes us sensitive to the deeper symbols, deeper currents, deeper archetypal energies that are emanating from the uncreated heart of existence. And so we're going to have a series of trines, a series of openings. A trine is a Jupiterian aspect, an opening aspect. First, the heart will be opening, then the mind will be opening, and then the sun, the sense of identity and our embodied warmth and radiance will be opening. It's like a 3-act play, or maybe like a 3-episode mini-series called like, Now It's Time to Open Deeper. And the first opening is the opening of Venus, the opening of the heart. Venus trines Neptune. And Venus and Neptune have an innate compatibility. You know, Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. There's a natural affinity between these two energies, the transcending energy of Neptune and the beautifying, appreciating, and connecting energy of Venus, the inner mystic of Neptune and the inner lover or artist of Venus. Venus is that force that deepens our capacity to experience love and to express love, and for self, for other. It stimulates and opens and awakens our recognition, our apprehension of beauty in art and nature. I'm looking out at the trees and in other people. And so the Venus trining Neptune is a very beautiful opening invitation of the heart, or to the heart. And it's very profound if we tune into its deeper call. It's the call to recognize, even in the midst of turmoil, even in the midst of all the global turmoil, all the uncertainty, all the violence that's arising in our world, maybe in our own minds, hearts, and beings, even in the midst of that, there is an undercurrent of grace, of beauty that is available. And it is first accessed through the heart. It's first accessed through this Venus trine Neptune. Now, opening our heart in this way, and attuning in this way, and becoming sensitive to the beauty that is present is not an act of spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is a term that was coined and discerned by a beautiful therapist and Buddhist teacher named John Welwood in the 1980s, decades ago. Still a very important concept. It's the concept that says that we can't use the spiritual ideals and ideas. Hold on a second here. It's the concept of not using spiritual ideals and ideas to bypass, is the word, or to sidestep and avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. So that's the words of John Welwood. And there is a possibility with Venus Neptune for spiritual bypassing, for just going, butterflies and rainbows, and I don't want to look at that over there. That's not the invitation. At the deeper level, it's to be in the midst of life, to be in the midst of the challenges, to be in the midst of the ups and the downs, which are inevitable, and to discern there there is grace, there is beauty, there is the presence of God, the divine, the holy, in the middle of whatever is happening. So the Venus trine Neptune is a discipline as well as a grace. It's a call for us to incline our heart towards the hidden beauty, which is hidden by our own reactivity and our own reactivity to others' reactivity. It's to incline the heart to what Thomas Merton called the hidden wholeness. He wrote, "There is in all visible things a hidden wholeness." And the key term in many ways in that is the two words, in all things. In all of them, there's the sacred. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of this when it says, "In the heart of every being, the Lord, the radiance, the holy, abides." It's not just the things we like, it's not just the quiet days. It's not just when you're at the spa. It's when you're on the bus. It's when you're in traffic. It's when we're with your family and there are things that are tense. There is the holy there. And the Venus trine Neptune is alerting us to tune the channel to that. And it's significant in this little 3-part series that Venus is leading the way of this parade, because it needs to, because the mind, without the prior attunement, the prior opening of the heart, can have trouble reconciling this sense of wholeness with the abundant evidence of brokenness that fills the headlines and that fills our communities, and maybe, if we're paying attention, also fills our own inner world, our inner life. So that's the mind. Mercury, who's next in line, Mercury can get tangled up in trying to figure out and parse the paradox that the heart simply accepts and opens to. That the sacred light is present even in the dark. That there is an unexplainable but knowable, feelable, tasteable love that permeates everything at all times. And it breaks the heart open. That's the nature of this aspect. It's a graceful breaking open of the heart to prepare the mind now for the revelation that is not confined to either or categories. So Thomas Merton had a student named Parker Palmer who likes to say, I met him after he died because he started reading his books. Parker Palmer's a brilliant teacher on his own right. And he wrote, in a paradox, opposites do not negate each other. They cohere in mysterious unity in the heart of reality. And that's the insight, that's the seeing that arises as Mercury trines Neptune. The mind itself becomes still, and it goes beyond discursive, analytical thinking habits. And it's receptive to a transcendent insight, Mercury trine Neptune. It's capable of understanding a vision that aligns with the feeling intuition of Venus. Venus, which opened to the love, now the mind can have a clear seeing that liberates it from, you could call it the gridlock of either or, of polarization essentially, which is the either or thinking. And it opens the mind into a vision, a stunning, healing, revelatory vision of how polarities are always present and also always working together to generate emergent possibilities, new creative innovations, evolutions, insights, and ways of being. So While the Venus trine Neptune opened the heart to the love that is ever present, the Mercury trine Neptune opens the mind to an awareness of the deeper intelligence, the wisdom energy that is at work in life and in our lives. Again, it's not spiritual bypassing. It's not pasting on a spiritual slogan, everything happens for a purpose, or whatever it might be. It's not about covering over anything. It's about opening. Neptune, trine Mercury, open into a surrendered mind. That would be the key. A surrendered mind that can receive a message from the deep. Remember, Mercury is the messenger, so can receive the messages. In this case, from the deep stillness, the deep wisdom stillness. And what is that message? That's what you have to listen for. That's what it's inviting you to listen for. It's a deep message for you in your situation to revision wherever you've held the world in your own life in an either or polarity, to recognize how those two poles have literally been working together to provide you with an opening that comes with this trine, to see the world afresh and to receive a transmission of wisdom from a deeper place of silence. So we've had the heart, we've had the mind, and now we have the sun. The sun is that sense of identity, that royal symbol of how we shine and radiate our individualized creative being, how we can become emissaries of the wholeness of life by becoming whole within ourselves. And in doing so, embodying that love, embodying that wisdom heart presence, we can become the emissaries or the vessels, the channels, if you will, the agents of the holy, and radiate warmth, blessing, light of the Spirit through our very presence and our very activities in the world. Now, the Bhagavad Gita, a beautiful yogic text, teachings where Krishna, the wisdom heart consciousness, speaks to Arjuna, the individual soul, you and me, and in chapter 5, verse 17, is speaking about the ultimate practice, the ultimate realization, and says, with mind and heart fixed on my cosmic ocean. This is the aspect, mind, heart, Mercury, Venus, fixed on the cosmic ocean of Neptune. In other words, when the mind and the heart are open to that cosmic ocean, the final goal is gained by supreme devotion. It's a supreme devotion. It's a devotion that is in harmony, in resonance with unselfish love. It's a devotion that's in harmony with balanced self-conscious awareness. And in that, it says the final goal is gained by supreme devotion. Such souls attain the ultimate goal, ignorance abated. They become whole. The ultimate goal is to dissolve away ignorance, which is our commitment to incompleteness and the stories of self-protection and the habits of defense, which keep us confined to that isolated self-sense that is defined by what it's afraid of. And to release that and to remember, to recognize, you're whole, you are a whole, you are the sun energy incarnated, you are the holy energy incarnated, you are a spirit soul. And that's what this three-part aspect is inviting us to do, have the mind and heart fixed on the cosmic ocean, to attain the goal with supreme devotion, the ultimate goal, ignorance abated, become whole.